story short, back to what we're talking about. So we've got this final couple of days, and we've pretty much got one big clearing, one big river flat meadow, whatever you want to call it, one big area where I know there's going to be deer, and that's our last resort. If we don't see anything on here on this last evening, we're going home empty-handed. That was just it. Like, the whole week has been not worth it, basically. So as it was, me and Joe were hunting it super carefully. We weren't pushing. We were just really, really cautious on how we hunted it. And we ended up getting up into an area, but we couldn't see over the whole meadow. And the idea was we wanted to sit on this meadow for the evening until dark. And it's a really good grassy area, which means there's going to be females that want to be feeding there just on dark. And at that time of the year, being the rut, if there's females, there's most likely going to be a mature dominant stag with them. So the goal was get somewhere where we could see this clearing, wait for the females to come out, and then a big stag will follow them out just on dark. That was what we were hoping for. Big risk, man, because it's our last evening. If we're sitting on a clearing and nothing comes out, we could have been out hunting the river or, trying to find something else. So it was a big risk, but we were pretty positive that we were going to see something. So, anyway, we get to the clearing and we realize we can't see enough of it from down on the low area, like on the, valley floor. We can't see enough of it to actually make this work. So there's this big tree, like kind of not in the middle of the clearing, but just back on our side of the clearing. And we're at the base of it, and Joe Flirty's like, why don't we climb the tree? And we looked at each other like instantly surely not. And then we're actually like, yeah, that's a fucking good idea. So next thing you know, we're climbing this tree. We get right to the top, and it's a big tree. And we're in this tree and we just set up. Like, I've got this little branch I'm perched on. Joe's like out to my left and he's perched on another branch. He's got my camera with the long lens like sitting in there. And we're sitting on the top of this tree just waiting. And I remember it was pretty funny, but right on dark, we're waiting the entire evening, the entire day. Nothing. Not a movement, zero activity, zero deer. And then it's literally coming into the last few minutes of daylight, like literally a few minutes away from us going home empty-handed, when we see a yearling and a hind walk out this creek in front of us, about 100 meters away. And so we get the camera on them, blah, 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 and then a big stag walks out behind them. And this is literally minutes away from being too dark to shoot. Like, at the very last time of the trip. We had no more days, basically. And so this big stag walks out, and we end up making a good shot on him, and we couldn't believe it. We were just like, did that just happen? There could not have been any. We couldn't have left it any later if we tried. You know what I mean? So we were stoked. We ended up getting this big stag. We recovered it. We did all the things, made the film. That video it performed incredibly well on the channel. But where I'm going with this is that first hunt was the first hunt for the series and stuff, and Joe was the cameraman, but quite a lot of it I was still vlogging, man. So he wasn't filming the whole hunt. He was running the big cameras and he had a Sony as well, and he was running. But it was a cool hunt, but I was still vlogging it as well. So it kind of defeated the purpose of having Joe as a camera guy. But as it was, there's no way I could have filmed it in the tree. There's no way I could have done it by myself. But where I'm going with this is it nailed home that is such a good memory that me and him now share. And the hardest hunt, one of the hardest hunts we've ever done, probably. And we left it right till the last minute, and it was a success in the end. And the video performed incredibly well to millions across the world. So that was real cool. That kicked off the whole thing with me and Joe. Episode number 1 in the bag, incredibly tough but successful. And it was just kind of onwards and upwards from there, man. And Joe, obviously, for the next episodes along, I